Hello, anybody and everybody. No light. You can see me here. Control R. There I am live. Hello, first viewer. I'm trying to set this up for the first time by myself with a little help from Aaron. All right, there we go. It is Friday afternoon. Thought I'd go live. How's everybody doing? What's up, Thomas? It is, there we go. I don't even know what time it is. 4 o'clock, I think, Central Time here in Dallas. Good evening from the UK. Hello, Jason. Awesome. Thought I would tune in this afternoon. Went to the doctor today to have my knee looked at. I was expecting hack and wax surgery and whatever after hearing everybody else's stories of what they've had done to their knee. And I have a meniscus tear. If you hadn't been watching the last week or two or whatever, you've seen me wearing a knee brace. And then I went into no bowl mode for the last 2 Monday nights, but that'll change. A2 and a jetback, please. Hi from Michigan, David. Difference between a jetback and an A2. Well, there's variants. The A is the original pin setter. You can convert it to A2, and you have a shotgun triggering. I'm kind of unclear on the exact differences. I've heard there's a different kind of triggering I think you can have for a jetback, where the A2 uses the rake release mechanism. I don't know if you're aware, but like there's normally just a bar from that follows the cam that pushes back and it doesn't collapse, but the A2 actually has a shotgun that has a little release in the middle. If you release it, the top part will release, the rake will drop, and then when the thing follows the cam, it locks back in place again and moves together. That's an A2, and I've told that the jetback has something different, I believe, than that. Really, the only difference is you don't go with the cushion. An A cushion basically just raises. Whenever the rake drops, the cushion will raise up to let the ball go under and return during the cycle, and then when it finishes cycling, the cushion just drops back down again. And there's an arm on the top. It's like a hook. It's called a hockey stick. There's a rod up here on a spring, and the clutch is down here. Whenever you hit the cushion, it pivots, and this arm pushes the link that releases the clutch, starts the machine cycling. That's on an A. That comes off on an A2, and I believe the jetback doesn't use it either, but I'm not real sure. But basically a jetback is a improved A that I think does away with the hockey stick, and the A cushion has the rake release, so you don't have, you hit the cushion, then there's that time for pins to roll out, and then the rake drops, you have deadwood and everything else. Hey, Game Show, how are you doing? Randy, how are you doing? What's up? 40th time chatting live. Game Show, you've got to be one of our top viewers, I think. If you notice the new bowling shirt here, I got from Bo Little, Triangle Bowl, Oregon. If you've seen his shirts for sale, he has some with A2, the different versions, the A2, AMF. He's got some different stuff. Look him up. I can't remember the website exactly, but maybe Triangle Bowl. But it's Bo Little. And also, we got this today. I owe him a crown for a gold crown masking. I've got a spare one, but I'm going to send him and hopefully a transformer that'll light the gold crown also. He's got a gold crown masking unit. He wants to light it up with the original transformer. So he did send me too this cool pin, Triangle Bowl. It's actually printed into them. It's not like a label on top. There's no other markings on it except on the very back. I see 414, but here is the Triangle Bowl pin. That's cool as hell. So I got the shirt, I got the pin. Now I need to buy some more shirts from him. So I'm happy. I'll get your crown in the mail. I'll get the transformer too. Let's see. Reading comments here. Thank you, Game Show. How long did it take you to make a bowling alley in my garage? from the beginning, about 2 months. If you go to the Garage Bowling Alley page on YouTube, where you are, go to the videos we have. I can't remember which section it's in. I got playlists with everything divided on there, like how do and how to. So if you ever want to know how something works on the pin setter, I've tried to make a video to show how that works. Or if I've done like how to do something, there's a how do and a how to section. Also, if you scroll way down, you can find the original video way down in the list about when I made the bowling alley. It took about 2 months, I think, from the original, like laying out tape, measuring, and going over to the church, cutting out lane sections. And then I had to acquire, like the ball return, I got the middle part, but the ears, they didn't have the ears on them when I got it. And I didn't have the track over here that the balls sit on. I found those up in Ohio. Aaron and I actually drove up there and loaded up a van full of pins and parts and ball returns and telescores and drove back. It was pretty fun. Oh, excuse me. It was pretty fun. But yeah, about 2 months. But it's been an ongoing thing. It's been going for over 3 years now, and it never stops. What are you going to do tonight besides make videos? Well, I would go to work. But let's get back to, I was starting to talk about this earlier. I've been not bowling the last 2 Mondays, if you noticed. But I went to the knee doctor today to get the good or bad news. And I knew I already had a torn meniscus because I had an MRI done on it 2 weeks ago. And I saw the doctor, and he said, you got 3 options. One of them is I can numb your knee, drain it, inject silicone, or I think it's silicone. Anyways, do that. You'll be good to go today, but still kind of light action for about the next week or so. He doesn't want me back at work, because lifting things and crawling around and stuff like that I do at work. I ordered some really good knee pads today, which I'm going to start wearing anytime I'm doing anything on my knees, because he said arthritis is coming on. He's surprised I don't have problems yet. But I said, can I go bowl Monday night? And he said, absolutely, because it's really walking. So there's really no strain on that. Here, I'll get you a quick shot here. The new knee brace. The side doesn't have the big things on it like the other one did. It has 2 Velcro straps on it, 2 little tabs here to pull it up on and keep it centered on the kneecap. He just said wear it whenever I'm up doing anything. And hey, Brendan. But said feel free to bowl if you like, but just kind of take it easy as far as lifting or doing anything else. So I'm going to be missing a few more days of work until things heal up a little bit more. It's still stiff and sore, but he said that's just the fluid on the knee. But be back to bowling Monday night. I thought I was going to have some. Everybody bowling has had a torn meniscus and had given me stories of surgeries and stuff like that. I thought I might be out for a couple of months or something, but doesn't sound like it. Also, during the week, Mike has been talking to somebody, and we have in the machine coming brand new Score Kings. Aren't those beautiful? So we're going to be putting in a set. They're so smooth. I love new pins. But we're going to be putting those in. They're pretty cool. They got the USB-C logo on the back here. But we're going to be putting those in, so we'll have the Star Shields, the Brunswick automatic deck shield with the crown on it, the crown strike indicator, and brand new Score Kings in the machine. So tonight we'll just be doing like I've been doing the last week or so, kind of just sitting on the couch, resting my knee, and not doing a whole lot. Yes, Charles, brand new Score Kings. I'm excited. I know Mike is too. I'm surprised he hadn't been itching to come over here and put those things in. Ooh. So you hurt your back bowling too. Yeah, you bowl two-handed. So I figure that's kind of harder on your back than a regular approach. So, the lifting and all that. So that's not good. Take care of yourself. Don't overstress it. I know you're young, but just be careful. I know I've been telling, my whole life I need to wear knee pads and stuff like that and think about it, and I've just never done it, but that's going to change. I'm getting older. So, anyways, liking the new t-shirt, Bo Little. If you see them, buy them. It's even a Champion. It's a nice quality t-shirt. He's got some other stuff on there too. I'll try to find a link and I'll put it on the page later for people to look at and buy them. So where is everybody checking in from today? I've got one from the UK. Oh, yeah. I bet it's kind of hard to bowl with the back problem with the style. Thank you, Steven. I'll post the link later. Y'all should go on and buy a shirt from him. He's got some different styles available. It's Bo Little. And he also sent, if you didn't see it till now, the triangle bowl pin. There we go. How old am I? I passed the half-century mark. So, starting to add up. So, trying to do what I can to keep moving. Don't slow down. Sometimes that can get you in trouble. Still in Maryland, Charles says. Had somebody from the UK earlier. I'm looking at comments here on my laptop. I got it set up in front of me. Jason Peace is in the UK. Here, I got let me show you what I got going here. Got my laptop in front of me, so I'm keeping track of comments and stuff in here. And get the camera back up there. Minnesota. Thank you, Charles. I'll post that link a little bit later, as I say, so you can go on, check out what he's got for sale, and buy a couple. I'm going to buy a couple more from him, too. Chicago. Thomas is in Chicago. I need to make a list. I'm bad about remembering where everybody's from, so don't take it personally. What do you think about Simel's victory? Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I was watching. I finally got to watch it. I know I was a few days behind, but having the bum knee, I was sitting on the couch, got to catch up on all my bowling. Actually, it didn't record. I went to watch the finals, and it was basketball. I went through like the 3-hour thing. It was nothing but basketball, so I ended up watching it on my phone. But it was cool to watch Simo put down Belmo. Enough of Belmo. I like him. Nice guy. Very cordial. Everything else was enough. Belmo, yeah, it was kind of nice to see somebody else win. After watching, was it Russo the week or two before against Sean Rash, back-to-back 5 counts. After they had already written off the game, 10th pins, he gets up in the 10th frame, leaves the 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Picked up the first time and then missed the second one, ended up losing. And Sean Rash had to eat those words. It annoys me with him. Every time he gets up and bowls and stops, comes back, it's like, just throw the damn ball. There's something else I saw people talking about online. I don't know if y'all saw this, but the guy that was running the pin setters at the U.S. Open there said that when they're bowling, they make them stop the machine from feeding pins while they're bowling. They don't want it indexing pins and messing them up while they're in the middle of their approach or something. They've been doing it for years. You got people up front, woo, 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 cheering and yelling and everything while they're bowling, but yet you have to sit there and stop the machine from feeding pins while they're bowling so you don't mess them up. But Anthony Simonson, man, I got respect for the guy now. Took him down and won. I felt sorry for E.J. Tackett. We've all been there and had one of those days. And just nothing went his way. He just couldn't get lined up, and just one bad break after another when he did get a good shot. I think I have a video on there from a couple of months ago. I recorded where he got a 2 count. He threw it, took out the 6-9. And he just kind of looked at the camera like, what the? So EJ can't catch a break. Supposedly he led all week and was doing really, really well. And then kind of fell apart there in the end. Simonson came in, lined up, and, you know, Belmo went down the game before. So it was kind of nice seeing a different face winning. And he threw his backup ball in the final shot. Everybody's yelling, backup ball, and he threw one. I mean, it's amazing to watch him bowl a game that way. Nobody else does that. Do you have a recommended bowling video? No, but I'll get back to another one that I have in a minute. Someone has something figured out in those lanes. Yeah. He went into that game lined up. He figured them out. I mean, if EJ had another game, he'd have done the same thing. He'd have got lined up somehow. He would have found something that had worked, and then he would have kept going. Because even Simon, I think, started out kind of slow the game before. And then they were unstoppable. Yeah, get away from the colored oil too. I mean, come on, just put a pattern down, even if they're different. Do we really have to put oil color down so they can see the oil, or is that for us? I don't know. Bowling's not what it was back in the days of Marshall Holman, Mark Roth. You know, back when bowling was cool, Saturday afternoon, Chris Schenkel, Nelson Burton Jr. Oh, you say bowling video I recommended. Here's something way off the subject. Anybody ever watch All in the Family out there? Classic show from the 70s, couldn't be on TV today. Classic show, but if you liked All in the Family, watched All in the Family, YouTube All in the Family pilot. They did one in 1968. It was a pilot. Archie and Edith were the same, but it had two different, as the kids, Gloria and Michael were different. And they did a pilot in 68. It was called Justice for All. And then they did the same pilot again in 69 for ABC, and it was Those Were the Days. It was the same Archie and Edith, but it was a different Michael and Gloria. And then in 71, they did the pilot for CBS, which got picked up as All in the Family, and you had the cast that you knew from the show then. They did the exact same pilot. So it's the same one, 3 episodes with different cast, slightly different house. Anyways, cool. Way off the subject of bowling. All right, back to bowling here. Oh, so the colors for the audience trying to show. Yeah, I didn't know if it was for the players or if that was for the bowlers themselves to look at the oil pattern. I'll have to watch for that. Bottlegate for Sean Rash and Belmo. I remember Bottlegate back when, if y'all aren't familiar with it, I'm sure everybody is, Belmo was bowling Sean Rash. And I guess he had his bottle. If I had one out here, I'd do it. Actually, right here behind me, I got a case of water. But I guess he got it to bowl, had his crinkly bottle. Sean's getting ready to bowl, and I guess he did a little bit of that. And Sean went off on him. I can't remember who won. I think Sean Rash won, but that kind of started their little feud, and I don't think it's ever ended since then. And you don't see plastic bottles out on the approaches anymore. I guess because of that. They all have their solid bottles or jugs or whatever it is now. But some bowlers just let a few too many things bother them. Sean Rash, awesome bowler. I don't want to take away from that, but you know, how many times does he stop his approach in the middle of a game? And then, I don't know. He's got the tooth missing, too. I figured he would have had a plug put in or something. Anyways, I've ever watched The King of Queens. I have watched The King of Queens. Not too many times. I didn't watch it as much. That wasn't one of our regular shows that we DVR'd. If you were to guess, how many pins do you have? Ooh. Well, I've got up on the shelf here, I've got 40 or 50 up on the shelves here on display. And then back behind the pin setter, well, I got another 20 that are going in. I probably got another 200 pins back there. We got probably got about 10 or 11 different sets of pins. We got Amflight registers, Now Tough Supreme, Score King 50s. Just arrived. Wanted to correct you on the jetback difference. Now, see, you would know better than I would, believe it or not. Jetback uses a ball booster instead of the accelerator. That's true. And the jetback does use the A2 style cushion and rake release. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know the jetback, isn't it, still have the offset kickback too? Because I don't think they dropped the kickback and put the slug in there on the jetback. I think they leave it up, and then you had the ball booster instead of the ball accelerator, which was weird when I went to the church and got these pin setters. They had above ground ball returns and they had ball accelerators, which was weird to me. Let's see. Try watch episode of Season 5, Episode 5. I'll look that one up. Can you go into the back of the pin setter and do a couple of cycles so we can see pins go around the wheel? Sure. I can go back and do that. That was only a mini A kit. Okay. I'm still kind of gray on that between A and A2. So let's go back to the back of the pin setter by request here. I can do that today. I got cleared by the doctor. I can go back to bowling. Not supposed to be doing anything lifting or anything crazy like that yet. Is that a A2 deck shield behind you? Probably. Actually, I've got 2 A2 deck shields from Houma, Louisiana. And then don't forget Amy, our AMF deck shield, if you didn't see that a couple of weeks ago. We got the original parchment that was in the AMF triangle. Yes. Turn off Wi-Fi. How can I do that? Uh-oh. Turn off Wi-Fi. Hang on a second. I don't know. How do I turn off Wi-Fi before I lose my feed here? Now I've lost my feed. Well, I don't have a feed now. Are we back? Are we back? Sorry about that. All right, game show. We're here. I'm back. I turned off Wi-Fi. I thought I lost the feed. Okay, we're still here. Okay, Star Shield, Streamlay masking unit, and that was the parchment that was inside of it. There's a stack of sheets from Houma, Louisiana. There are the other 4 Star Shields that we have, plus the gold crown. That'll be going back in pretty soon. Here's all the pins that I've got. The left stack is pretty much all my trade pins and the color pins. I got other pins back here, Amfly registereds. And we got, of course, oh no, Mr. Bill. Don't forget Mr. Bill. Let me see here. I've got the machine. I got some stuff on the side here. All right. Cycle the pin setter. There's the reset lever that stops the machine when it goes down. Stops the clutch from engaging. I'll hit the reset button. You'll see it come up. 1, 2, there it releases. There's the clutch. That's the 1-to-1. That's the 4-to-1 right there. I don't have the A2 pulley yet. We're still waiting for the A2 pulley. There's our inverted pit curtain. We always leave inverted, trying to increase the deadwood. There's the turn pan. It always makes the pin go butt first. Let's bring some pins up here. Watch the cycle. See how the cushion rotates on the A2 pin setter. Suppose the A just raises. Thank you, Rod J. I've seen more differences in pin setters going around to different bowling alleys now, going up to Tucker's and stuff like that. There we go. Hope that's sufficient. That's the scoring switch for the... I got a bunch of flat gutter pieces stacked up here. Here's the pin finders on the back of the Star Shield that I added. And 1-2 ball lights. Got the rake, Brunswick automatic. So there you go. There's a quick everything. Also, here's the camera that we use while we're going live to shoot from the pin deck. And that is the camera for the scoring system for Scoremore. Got it mounted above the ball return there. This is where it has to be to get a clear shot of the 10 pins. From this angle, you can see all 10. Anywhere else I tried to put them, you'd have a pin in the way and you couldn't get a clear shot of all of them, so it had to be right there when we did this. All right, let me get back over here to my seat. Got the old Dr. Pepper machine, still runs. Full stocked and only 10 cents. 10 cents a bottle. Something I got back in the mid-90s. Found a Coke machine similar to that one, but it had the same cooling unit, and it worked. Put it in, never been serviced, and has been running ever since. All right. Back to my spot here. Catch up on my comments. I got the traffic light about 3 years ago. Let's see. Jetback has a cable mounted to the shotgun. Dashpot uses a set of pulleys. See, I knew there was something different to the Jetback system. A2 deck shields. I'm going back through old comments here, so if I'm a little behind here. iPhone settings, we got that. Hey, Caleb. Yeah, I lost, when I changed screens, it cut off the feed, but luckily we were able to get it back and turned off Wi-Fi. How do you invert a curtain? Basically, if the curtain's hanging down, and if the pin hits it just right, it can kind of go over center. It's got the rod at the bottom and the top. You have to kick it back over. But if it gets hit just right, it kind of can pop it over, and that's when you get your inverted pin, your curtain, and that's when you see lots of deadwood. Did you get the A2 pulley on? No, I have not got my A parts yet, and my A2 pulley and all the other stuff is supposed to be coming any day now. It's coming. Nice quick tour of the back. Thank you. You're welcome, Charles. Anywhere from the shipper? Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. I can do quite a slideshow on the garage before it was even a garage. When we had dirt, we cut off the back of the house. People aren't aware. We have my 92-year-old mother living here. We care for her, and we've built a small apartment on the back of the house. And basically, we came in and took the back of the house off, the garage and the patio, built our apartment, and then put the 4-car garage in, not knowing this was going to happen. Timing is everything. So Aaron's going to tell me drink. So we put the 4-car garage in. Mike called me about the pin setters at the church in Fort Worth. Started measuring, looking at things, and realized we can make this work. So let's see. Yeah, I'll have to post some pictures one day of the project of the house where they came and took the house, back of the house, the garage down. There's a bunch of country guys had a fun time with the equipment and just tearing it down. It was kind of fun to watch. Thank you, Charles. Love that Dr. Pepper machine. See you, game show. See you on the next live. You're just joining me. You see the t-shirt that I'm wearing? Bo Little, I'm sure you've seen him out there. He sells the A2s, AMF, some of the other stuff. We got a trade for some stuff. I got to send him a crown and a power supply for a Gold Crown mask unit. He sent me the shirt and the triangle bowl pin, which is pretty damn cool. It's not even a decal. It's like smooth into the surface. It's under the, like it's printed on there. It's pretty cool. Thank you if you're watching or see this. Good to hear, Charles. That's big of you to do that. It does take a lot of work sometimes, but it's very rewarding. Wouldn't have it any other way right now. We're glad we're here for her, and she makes me laugh every day, and we're respecting her wishes. And so anyways, what else we got today? We talked about Belmo. Are you able to bowl again? Yes. I went to the doctor today and got my knee looked at. Was expecting him to say, yeah, you got to have your meniscus reattached or whatever again. Yeah, Charles, I wouldn't have it any other way either. I would do it all over again. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. So we're enjoying the time we have with her, because you never know. So went to the doctor. He said, he gave me 3 options. One of them was 3 incisions going in, cleaning out my knee, draining the fluid, and that would lay me up for about 3 or 4 weeks. Or he said the first option was numbing it, going in, draining it, and doing a cortisone injection. I think I said silicone earlier. I meant cortisone, which he did that. That was the option we went with. And he said I basically could walk out and everything would be fine. I've been wearing a leg brace trying to stabilize my leg because I didn't want to tear anything further if I was going to. But he said no. He said there's really no surgery. You don't have to fix it. He did tell me, though, eventually my knees are, starting to get arthritis, that I'm going to need probably a knee replacement surgery down the line one day if it gets bad. But he's, I told him I've never had any problems before. So he just said, you're good for now. See me in a couple of months and, still stay off it for, another week, 10 days, something like that. So he doesn't want me back at work lifting things, being on my knees or doing anything like that. So I ordered a nice set of knee pads today that Amazon's dropping off, and I'm going to start wearing those more than I have, which is I haven't. So got to protect the knees and start thinking about these things because I don't want to be crippled up later. I want to be back to bowling, which I'll be bowling Monday night. He said no problem with me bowling, so I will be back on the lanes Monday night. And we might have a new face or two for the week, so tune in. And let's see. Got a bad case of bowling blues. I know I haven't been bowling in 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks coming up, so I need to come out here and practice before bowling Monday night. Make sure everything... I'm wearing this brace. Here, let me show you real quick. He gave me, it's kind of a tight on the top and the bottom. It's got the hole in the middle for the kneecap, but it kind of helps stabilize the kneecap, helps stabilize the knees, trying to squeeze it, try to, make the swelling go down. I need to go pick up a prescription that they called in, do that after dinner, and that'll help the swelling and the pain. But he said, go bowl. Since it's right knee, so there's really no impact on the right knee. It's basically just like walking. But I just wanted to make sure before I did anything that I was overcautious. So, Kevin from New Jersey. We've been talking about Belmo, Simonson beating Belmo, Sean Rash, King of Queens, Season 5, Episode 5. I'll have to look that one up. What else anybody got? Anybody want to talk about anything specific? Let's see. I'll put the Gold Crown Mask unit back up here next week or two. Keep things, spice things up a little bit, change it up a little bit. Wow, 24-year-old storm ball the other night. Found in storage. The urethane. I've got a urethane blue hammer. I may take that to Monday night and start. Oh, don't even. Cut the strings. Jeff Gore. I'm going to take a blue hammer Monday night. I may start throwing that just to piss off Sean Rash. M66 bowl right now. I'll have to look that one up. Is it old, new? I'm guessing a new bowling alley, since it's hard to find older bowling alleys anymore. Early reactive, says Charles on the 24-year-old Storm Bolt. I need something that moves. I think they said the lane's been drier the last 2 weeks, but USA Bowl, they've been like no back ends at all, which is why I went to that Kingpin ball. And I actually sanded it before bowling one week just because I needed something more active and reactive. So I started throwing that Kingpin, and that's the only thing that's been hooking on me. But I can't remember who was telling me the last week that I bowled, switch over to something different. And I finally did, slowed it down a little bit, and that ball would go way down, but it had a nice snap in the back end, and it worked great, and I did good that night. Blue Hammer, all right, Brendan. I got one too. It didn't have probably 20 games on it. I probably had it for 20 years. I mean, watch the Pro Tour, go bowling anytime, and how many times I'll see something like that would never happen with the string pin setter. You get the bird dog, you get crazy pin rolling, or That's what's fun about bowling, and you'll lose all that with strings, or a string will trip up a pin or something. It just, I wouldn't do it. Older bowling alley, M66 bowl. I'll have to look that one up. The new pink urethane hammer. I used to have a pink hammer years ago, but there was something weird with that ball. Every time I threw it, it rolled over the thumb hole, and I finally went back to the pro shop and just said, something ain't right with this ball, and they ended up giving me a new ball, and never had one since. But that was like my first real bowling ball, was a black hammer. Bought it back when I was in high school, and that ball lasted forever and ever and ever. Nowadays, every time I have a bowling ball, they break. I don't know why. I have this habit of being near bowling balls, when in my possession, split. I pulled one out to use one time. I don't know, if I had $1 for every ball that I've had that split, I could literally go out and buy lunch. I don't know why. Josh came over here and bowled about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know if you saw him bowl here then. He brought a ball over to bowl with, left, and right after he left, I looked down at his ball and look at that. Split. So there's something about me and bowling balls. You don't want to leave your ball over here because I break them. Don't know how. But unless they're rubber, we got all these rubber bowling balls, but I think Mike and I are going to try to find some plastic balls to use, because these rubber ones are like shedding. Every time we get done, our hands are like black. The cushion's black, the pins are getting dirty, the pit cover, which I have freshly washed, the pit carpet cover that goes on the carpet in the back to help keep things clean while we're bowling. Take it out, throw it in the wash every couple of weeks. And let's see. Yeah, string pin setters are evil. AMF XS. Oh, wow. A white ball? Oh, cool. Yeah. What would Bilmo do on string pin setters with no carry, with the bird dogs and everything else? Can you look it up live? M66 bowl. Let me try to do that. I'm on a laptop here, watching comments. M66 bowl. There we are. It's opening. So what has everybody else got to say today, or what's on your mind? Let's see. Wants to send me notifications. Just go away. Open up photos. M66 bowl. As one picture. Well, how about I'll just Google it. Look at photos that way. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. It's an old dome top bowling alley. Oh, AMF Sure Pick ball returns. That's cool. So this probably used to have some nice old streamline masking units or something back in the day, but of course now it's got new whatever masking units. That's pretty cool though. That's got to be an old building. Look up M66 bowl, you see what I'm looking at now. Pretty cool. Still the black hammer I bought back in 91, 92. Yeah, those black hammers, I couldn't break that thing. But yet I don't know how many other reactive resin balls I've got that I finally had to throw away. I even had that one that we bowled on in here until it started taking chunks out of the lane. David H. Who's going to drive around the 787s while I'm here? Well, they're going to have to do it without me. That is one perk of the job, taxiing airplanes. I've got a couple of videos. I haven't made them public, but where we go to the terminal, pick up an airplane 1 or 2 in the morning that comes in late, get to taxi back to the hangar. That's one of the perks of the job. Being an aircraft mechanic is taxiing big planes. I'm using your first mic system, David H., that you sent me. Let me see. Comments. Went to practice yesterday. I was watching some people playing on the opposite side of the building. They were walking halfway down. I tell you, just throw those people out of the building. Somebody tagged me in a post earlier. There's a bunch of people fighting, and it spilled out on the lanes. One of them even had a camera, and no comment. No, absolutely no comment. People throwing over there, just throw them out. People are doing that stuff, just throw them out. You don't want their money. They're going to be the ones that are going to hit your scoring system, break something. You see the videos of the fire suppressant system getting hit, or just throw the ball. If you can't bowl, leave. Working on a Lego lane, and I'm switching to GSX for fun. That is pretty neat. I've been impressed by all the Lego lanes that everybody's got set up. Charlie and Mangle and several other people that have the Lego setups. Even I am drawing a blank down in Fosbear, down in Houma, Louisiana, whose house I've been to. Maybe down there tomorrow. I don't know. White dot is cool. That was my first bowling ball that I ever got, was a blue white dot. Is what you saw in the pictures worth a visit? If I could make it up there, I would. That would be a neat place to stop by, seeing the old AMF ball returns. It brings back some memories back when I was a kid, going to Travel League or some of the old AMF houses around here that had the old 8230s and had the Sure Pick ball returns and stuff. That was always cool to see. It may be, I don't know, Jeff Gore, I don't know what the video was. I just remember there's about 10 people, a bunch of trash, and I thought I'd been talking to you about that. Jacob and I were talking about flying down there. But I was waiting to find out how things worked out today. It's still not a done deal or anything like that. We'll talk about it later, see if I have permission, or I figure you're tired of me and ready for me to go away for a little while. I've been home now for a week and a half, 2 weeks with my knee issue. So they should put down an extra heavy oil pattern for the feel like oil wrestling or something, watching everybody slip and slide. But then you're going to have them all sue the bowling alley because they all slipped and fell and hurt themselves. Oh, okay. So you know Charlie personally. Cool. Yeah, we talk to him frequently. Off and on. We've been talking to him for a while now. I know he's eager to be a pin setter mechanic. So, what else does everybody know today? Any other questions, comments? Doing this for Aaron because I know he's telling me. Drink. Let's see. Oh yeah, went down to Houma to get the Star Shields back, was it about 2 months ago? And while we were down there, we saw this in their bowling ball junk pile. The old Brunswick Crown Jewel bowling ball. So I snagged that and brought it home. There you go. I thought that'd be cool. Probably get it cut down a little bit, refinish it. It'll probably look as good as new. You don't see many of those anymore. Let's see. Yeah, you got to put that down there. Don't cross the foul line. The lanes are oiled, so that covers you. If they go over it and they fall, then you know what? That's your own fault. But if you don't do it, don't tell somebody don't go over the foul line. They can go over it and sue you. Just pathetic. Yeah, they were, Charles. Mike and I went down there, and that's where the lens for this Star Shield came from. I built the rest from scratch, but I couldn't finish it till I had the lens. I was trying to find the lens elsewhere. I just can't find it. But luckily, we went down there. They had one that, I don't know if the hurricane broke it or if it was already broken beforehand. So I cut off the half that was still good, made this one. So I've still got the full masking unit back over here with the other half of the lens. I'm going to see if there's some way to repair. It's long cracks, big pieces, so I'm hoping maybe there's a way to glue them back together somehow and fix it. Maybe I can make another single like that one, and it can live on. But if I could find the lens material, then I could fix that one back up. But I got 3 other ones complete that'll still work. I'm going to try to put one over about where you see my hand right there, mounted along the wall, which means I got to take the AMF that's up there now, raise it up, and then I'm going to try to make a spot back where you see the Bel Air sign to hang probably the gold crown or the star shield, whichever one's not in use at the time. Let's see. Reading comments here. I got 4th in JBT last Sunday. Good deal. Congratulations. How many people were in the tournament, Jeff? I think, is that the one? I think Charlie sent me video from that and said it was just, he had a hard time bowling on that thing. Yeah, Huma was hit back in August. Ripped the front of the building open. She was just about to sell the bowling alley to and get out of it right when the hurricane hit. So it's kind of sad that that happened. And then also, Steve Simpak, pay for your masking units. He showed up, took 7 of them, and once he had them, they didn't even announce they were coming. They just showed up. They went over there, got them, took them, never paid her for them. And I've talked to him, and he's promised me he'd get in touch with her and make things right, and he's been full of excuses. So, Steve Simpak, taking advantage of a poor woman that lost her bowling alley in a hurricane. That's pretty sad. Now they're sitting up in Nebraska somewhere in his bowling alley. He's not even using them. Let's see. Got a video to post to the Facebook page. My friend hit his first 200 during league. Congratulations on the 200 game. Very nice. Hey, I'm not gonna scrap it. I'm gonna hang on to it. Maybe one day we'll be able to redo it. I know Tucker has 4 of them that I can get, and only if Mike can store them. And one of them has the planets, and I would love to be able to fix that one back up. That has, I don't know if you've seen the old ones that had the planets, had like a big planet in the middle, some stars, and swooshes and stuff on it. It's pretty cool. They had those at Don Carter's when I was a kid. And I think the bowling alley in Paris that Mike went to the other day, he posted on the vintage page from Paris, and he said that they have panels over them, but behind the panels are the planet star shields. So it's more of a projection thing than like this one's just a light bulb behind the plastic that makes the diamond pattern. But the planet one actually has like a light, then it has a mirror or a reflective surface. The light hits it and then reflects onto the screen, kind of like at an angle. It hits it and reflects, and it creates the different shapes on there. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool looking back then. Let's see. 41 people. And you got 4th. That's really good. Exactly, Charles. I mean, how do you take advantage of somebody like that? And he wanted the lane machine too. She had like an $8,000 lane machine. He was wanting that. I read the text. I read everything. So he says, I don't know the whole story and all that. I do. But he really wanted that, and they said, no, we're not giving you that right now. But they wanted the lane machine too, and left, and now they're glad they didn't give them the lane machine because they'd have never seen a penny for it. Let's see. Yeah, I got to find some pictures of the old planet style. There's some, I know I posted some in my playlist. If you look under Astroline on the playlist on Garage Bowling Alley, there's some cool ones on there are the old Astroline scoring systems. If you've never seen that working, back when I was a kid, wee little child, they had the Astroline scoring system, and the way it worked is the machine would stop at 270, and it had this panel on the ball return. It had an upper and a lower, lane like 3 and lane 4, and you push the thing down and slid it to whatever number was going to score in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Middle was practice, and then if you're doing cross lane, you get down to lane 4 on the bottom part, but you'd always be on that side. And it was pretty cool, but the machine would stop at 270 until you identified on the ball return, and then the machine would come up. And if you go into the Astroline playlist on the Garage Bowling Alley, you can see some really old videos that had the Astroline scoring system in there. And it was pretty cool. Always like to get a strike and have it come down to set pins with the strike indicator lit up, and then like when you're in the 10th frame and done, if I got like the spare shot on the 11th frame, I'd always reset it to put it back on first ball, throw my 11th frame ball, and if I got a strike, then the machine would stop at 270, strike indicator on, lane would turn off, and it'd be that way. And I always like that. So Mike, there is Mr. Michael, Mr. Penn Encyclopedia. Wait. Identify. Bowl. Well, there's a little indicator on the top of the scoring thing that would tell you like when it was at like this, ready to go, it'd say bowl. During the cycle, it'd say wait. And at 270, identify would come on. So it's pretty cool. I know it was a mechanical nightmare. And I know there's probably not a single one of those left in the world anywhere. Lots of landfills full of them, though. Anybody got anything else? Checking out my new t-shirt here from Bo Little. And Mike, I don't know if you saw this yet. Triangle bullpen came with the t-shirt. So, Fairlands and Boulder had the Planet Star shields when it first opened. Center's gone now. Damn it. I know there's a video recently of somebody that had the Planet Star shields. I can't remember the name. It starts with an S. I can't remember. But I don't know if they still got them or not. I hope they do. I always wonder where those Star Shields ended up at Don Carter's when they took theirs out. Probably right in the landfill. Those were the days. We were just talking about that earlier. The All in the Family pilot episode from 1969. Before it was All in the Family. But it was always Archie Bunker. I saw him on an interview on the Donnie Marie show. That's what started all this from like 1999. No, it was 2000. I think it was about a year before Carol O'Connor died, Archie Bunker. He came out. They surprised him. Edith came out. So it was the first time they've appeared together on a talk show. And they tried to get her to do Edith. She said, nope, won't do it. I do it for money. I won't do it. And they all like got their wallets out, started getting money out. Come on. She wouldn't do it. So it was cool, though, to see them together again. It was always Archie and Edith. Maybe dating myself, talking old TV shows. All right, people. What you got? Name something. Bowling pins. Bowling accomplishments. Locations. Requests. Any requests for the garage? Having a break here. Let me have some water. Is the footprint of an 8230 about the same as an A2? I believe so. As far as the pit, they have basically a roller pit conveyor and then the pinwheel, which takes about the same. I know the 8230 and the 8270 are more open. There's a lot less machine to it. But I think the footprint is about the same. The kickbacks are different, I believe. I think the 8270 and 8230 kickbacks are a little lower than the Brunswick kickbacks. But pretty much, I think if you took out an A2 and changed the kickbacks out, you could put an 8230 in the same position in the same place. Well, now you can see one up close, Mike. Had the front nine on game 2 of the JBT. Pulled the first shot of the 10th frame. About an arrow left. A little off your mark. It's tough. My stumbling block was always the 8th frame. I never could get past the 8th frame. And finally, one day, I got the 9th strike. And I was like, all right, finally. And then I threw my first 300 game. I can't remember if it was the first one was at Jupiter or Don. I think it was at Don Carter's, and I did one like 6 weeks later at Jupiter. So I had two pretty close right off the bat, and then I didn't have one in a while. When are we bowling? You tell me. I'll have to talk to corporate too and figure out what's going on. I mean, you're just supposed to throw the ball and get a strike no matter what? Who do you think you are? I am. No. Oh, Pete Weber. Gotta love him. Come on, everybody's being quiet. I don't know, Mike. You got the pins still sitting here in the box. Haven't put them in yet. 5 290 games, sparing the first and striking out. Well, see, all the pressure's off you when you get a spare in the first frame. Then you have no pressure after that. 273 is your high game. How did you do a 273? Must have been like a 7 something in the middle, then a low fill ball, I guess. Like a 6 in the fill ball. My highest, somebody asked, since we're talking high games, 858. That's my 858 wing there. There we go. 300, 278, 280. Don Carter's about 10 years ago, I guess. I've had another 280 or another 800 since then, so I've had 2 ever. So I'm hoping to have another one of these days. Highest is 215. You're getting there. Keep practicing. My highest is 215. And we have yet to have a 300 in the garage bowling alley. The only one that's gotten close is Josh. He is a killer on these lanes. I think he had an 800 series. First time he came over here, we took the picture in front of the masking unit, make one of those cheesy photos holding the ball. We never did make the photo and put it up, but my highest, Narrows Plaza in Tacoma, Washington on the 35-foot boardwalk pattern, 290. I haven't had a 300 in a while. It's about 6 months, 7 months ago, I think. I was live one night at bowling. I did a video because I had like 17 strikes in a row. Finished out and started the next game. But I was on my way to a 300, and I think I missed in like the 9th. Dang it. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Just got my low battery thing. Going to freeze for a second. I'm watching myself on the delay here. Where's the freeze? Hadn't come through yet. I'm watching myself. There it is. And I'm back. Yeah, I almost had a 300 live on YouTube when I was early on when I was first doing this. So I got the pressure on me. I need to do it one night. Is two-handed really bowling? I remember reading something from Brian Voss, who felt strongly against and believes that the game has become less challenging for the pros. I know there's a lot of two-handed bowlers out there. I don't want to offend them, but I always root for the one using the thumb usually. E.J. Tackett, Sean Rash, if I have to. But I like Simo. He's from around here. Somebody told me they might be able to get Josh told me he might be able to get Simo in the garage. And also got a couple other pro bowlers that have talked about coming to the garage one day when they're in town again. So hopefully we can get some name status here. Worst ever bowl was Junior Travel League. It was old Fairlane's house, wood duck pens. Oh, converted to 10-pin. What shirt did you get? That one, Mike. Bowler Man. Mike might be bowling Monday. Are you going to bowl Monday? Question from corporate. Because we're going to have a couple of people missing Monday night. So we're going to have a couple of fill-ins possibly. I thought I was going to be on Monday night, but I'm actually going to get to bowl Monday night now, it looks like. What's the dinner ETA in there? Aaron's cooking dinner. Yeah, I know there's a big controversy, two-handed, one-handed. Kyle Sherman and Brad Miller were at Josh's place practicing before the play, and it was them. They mentioned that they wanted to come over here. I was like, you're here in town. Come over. But evidently they were too busy to come over here and drop in. So the U-list, well, they were practicing in, I guess, one direction, and the Pro Tour is in the opposite direction. So, hey, if you want to come down here and sub, if Mike's not going to bowl, love your Star Shield, not many rounds. I know. And I hope we're starting a revolution of Star Shields. If you notice, I've got mine adjusted. I brought the bracket forward and rotated them to where the light bulbs are further away. So now you have the little bitty star, You got the bigger star and the little star. Then the little star, or the big star, little star, big star. I kind of tried to balance them, big, little, big, little. So 15 minutes. Commented on the video, go to the garage bowling alley. I will go look. Oh, good. Commented to tell them to. Yeah, Josh told me that they were wanting to stop by. So hopefully next time that Kyle and Brad are in town, we can get them over here. It'd be cool to get Simo in here. I think it'd be cool as hell to have Belmo in here. I'll eat my words for anything I've said about Belmo. I like Belmo, but it'd be cool as hell if we could get him in here sometime if he's ever in town. Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour is coming through here. They're going to be at USA Bowl, I heard, in August. So they're going to be in town. Bring back Star Shields. I'm talking to somebody now who has a house where they put panels over their Star Shields. And he's now smitten with the idea of Star Shields. So he has talked the owner into having him replicate the guts because they're gutted, but it has the lens, so he's trying to replicate everything else and bring his Star Shields back to functionality. I just think they're awesome looking. I hope more and more people get on. If anybody's up in Nebraska and wants some Star Shields, I can tell you where to get 7 of them. Or if you want to make a trip to Nebraska and get them, I can tell you where to get 7 of them because Steve Simpak didn't pay for his, so they're not his. So, but yeah, uncover the Star Shields. I know Mike went up to Paris Lane, so they got the Planet ones. Hopefully, maybe he could talk the owner there into taking the panels off and putting his Star Shields back to former glory. I don't think the Planet ones are as impressive as these. I think these are more colorful, more easy to upkeep. So, it'd be neat if they do a couple of them maybe, or every other one maybe. That'd be kind of cool. But hopefully more Star Shields will be used now, more be prevalent. If any of them are out there, they'll be a hot commodity and places will want them more often and seek them out. I know there's a 6-lane bowling alley up in Pennsylvania. No, where was that? Maybe it was. They had 6 Star Shields and they're, I think, gutting the bowling alley. I'll have to ask my friend about that one. So yeah, I've got the Streamlane masking unit. That'll be making a reappearance one day. The Gold Crown is back on the other side of the car over there. You can see it right there. There's the Gold Crown masking unit right there. It'll go back up here in another week or so. Change things up a little bit. To show how old I am, I watched a match between Ross and Anthony and saw 2 or 3 balls on the return. Now you can't even fit the Arsenals in the... I know. I was looking at the lanes next to us. I'm not in a competitive league, but I looked at the rack next to us. They got the rack under the ball return and the one on top. And they almost had the one in the bottom field. They had the one in the top field. There's only 8 bowlers. But they had probably 15 bowling balls out. And I know there's another team, won't mention them, that bowl on Monday night. And they all bring in balls over their shoulders, dragging 3 ball bags on each side. And yeah, Ross. I thought Ross. I'm trying to think of who Ross was. It was Roth and Anthony. Yeah, that was back in the day. Mark Roth, Earl Anthony, Marshall Holman. Man, that was it back in the day. Mangle, how are you? I am cleared to bowl, Mangle. Things went good at the doctor today. I got a new brace. Haven't shown the brace off lately. Here we go. There's the brace. There's no metal to it. It's got some padding in it, keeping the kneecap in place. Keeps pressure on the top and the bottom. It's easy to pull up. 2 straps to Velcro on, but I got a set of knee pads. Ow. My knee just popped. Nice set of knee pads ordered that I'm going to start wearing more often. Be responsible. Protect my knees, because... so you're going to bowl Monday, I hope. Mike may be bowling with me on Monday night. Awesome. New pins, Mangle. Yes. Hey, you haven't seen this one yet. This came with the t-shirt today. triangle bowl pin. Is it feeling better? It's still a little weird. Like my kneecap moves around a little bit funny. It feels a little squishy in my knee, but he told me to stay off it for another week or so and don't go to work, don't lift anything, don't get on my knees trying to change tires, work up in the cabin, the stairs. That's the biggest thing. To get up in the airplane, you got to go up like 20 or 30 stairs to get in the plane and come down. That's a lot. So he said, hold off. I thought I had one of the purples bigger. You know what? I guess I should swap. Well, I can't really. I'd have to take out a red one to swap out a purple for a big one. Like I could put, I got two red big ones. I could put the purple down on the bottom, maybe put a blue one in the middle. I could do that. Next time I got the lens off, we'll move them around a little bit. What maxes are in the box? There are no maxes in the box, but we have one set of brand new Score King bowling pins to put in. Look at that. Nice and shiny. Very clean. We're going to have crowns with the star shields, with the Astroline, or the Brunswick Automatic Deck Shield, and brand new Score Kings going in. So that's going to look really cool, sound really good. I love new pins. So that's coming up. I got two A2 deck shields right there from Huma. I would put one on by request to Fozbear, but not going to be doing anything like that right now with my knee. I'm going to try to staff it for a little while. So the Brunswick Automatic will stay on. We have exactly 20 for the machines. So we'll talk though. Who else? What else? Got about another 6 or 7 minutes here. Oh wow, okay. I guess I need to expedite my second shelf here to put pins. I finally made more shelving space for the pins that I had. I've got a little space up here for one more little shelf on the end there. I took down the circle bowl sign. I took down the second lane assignment board. I'm going to have to find a place for that. But the circle bowl sign came down. I added a couple of shelves on the end there. And now I have more shelf space. I need to find more space for some other pins. I may rearrange the whole wall for shuffling around all the masking units. Need to get the AMF stream lane that you see down here back up on the wall and get the guts plugged back in so it'll be functional again. Let's see. See you, Charles. Have a good day at work. If only they could put an elevator or an escalator to access the plane. I know, that would be nice. Well, we do have a cargo belt loader, but that would only get me up into cargos. But pretty much everything I do at work involves you having to work on your knees and stuff. You know, if you get in cargos and you have to change something, you're on your knees. If I'm in the cabin, you know, doing all the emergency equipment, you're on your knees in the cabin, up and down, up and down. Just walking up and down the stairs, there's a lot. If you change a tire, that's a lot of lifting and pulling and pushing, and that's not good for the knee. So I'm just going to have to be very lax with it for a little while, as per doctor's orders. Hello, Allegiant. How long have I been collecting? Let's see. How long have I been alive? No. Brendan, yeah. I've been collecting pins. I think I found my first pin. I think my sister found it going to school back, like I was in like 3rd grade maybe, and they found an old bowling. It was a mixer. I remember that. It didn't have the label. The mixer label was missing, and it was kind of gotten wet and it was swollen up, but they found one and we brought it home. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I actually had a real bowling pin. And that started it. And then when Don Carter's pretty much opened up, I'd always go back, knock on the door forever until I got the mechanic to answer and try to get a pin from them. I think I got maybe a Duramark one time or a Nile Tough for a couple of AM flights or something. And then just started going out and looking and finding cool pins, and then you have this whole wall full of pins now. And there's some other ones back here in that stack right there. But Mike has me beat hands down. I've got a handful of cool old pins. He's got about 300 cool old pins. I've got a lot of newer common stuff. He's got more of the rare stuff. So I don't even try. I let Mike do all that. More common repairs you do on the planes. Seats are the biggest headache. The entertainment system. We used to have a vendor that came in, did the entertainment system, and they took that away from them, gave it to us, which is nice, but we don't know how to work on it that well. So changing out the monitors, trying to troubleshoot why the seat won't recline. It's got all the actuators in them. They can be a pain in the butt, because if one actuator goes out, the whole seat goes out, and there's no way to tell really that easily, you know, what specifically is, and then you can't just change the actuator out. It's an involved process. So I've got a picture of a coworker of mine working on a seat, and he's definitely standing on his head, feet straight up in the air, but he's down working on the guts of the seat. So they're no fun to work on, the seats. The entertainment system, we don't know really how. Like when you have one row of seats doesn't get a signal, there's a box up in the ceiling somewhere. One of those is what sends the signal to that seat, and we got to go up and change that box. Then on the 787, everything has computer software to it, so you have to upload software to things, or you have to let the seat basically load itself, which can take a couple of hours to upload the software from the main computer to the seat to make it work. Tires and brakes, we do tire changes pretty frequently. They last maybe, I think, 3 months. But if the groove is down to about a 30-second, then tire's gone. You got to change it. And if you get a couple of us on a tire change, you can knock one out in about, 45 minutes. Once you get all the equipment, there's a lot of equipment. You got to get the jack. You got a set of nitrogen bottles to jack the plane up with. You got to get a dolly to pull the tire off with. You got to get the tire itself. You got to go pull up the paperwork. You got to have all that in your hand when you're doing it. But once you get everything out there, you can probably change a tire in about 20 minutes with the right people. A lot of the 787s now, they have computers in them, so you have to do a lot of software uploading in them. And a lot of interior work, we go through and have to check all the emergency equipment, check the dates, make sure they're not within 5 months of replacement or overhaul or whatever. Then you have to pull them out, put a new one in, and then send those out. They get recertified, put back in the system. Things like that. There's a lot of work that goes on overnight that you don't realize on planes. Let's see. What is the difference between the Brunswick pin and AMF pins? Actually, Ron, nowadays, I don't think there's much of a difference. Mike can answer that question better than I can, because they're pretty much made by the same people now, Brunswick and AMF. They have pretty much specs on them. They're made a certain way, but I think Brunswick makes AMF and Brunswick pins both, or is the other way around, AMF makes them both. Mike can talk about that a little bit more. Lots of repairs on the seats, yes. It's a lot of the entertainment system, but we're doing away with a lot of the entertainment systems now with the individual monitors and stuff. They pretty much are putting power ports in there. Everybody's got an iPad, everybody's got a phone. Bring your phone in. You can access a library, I think, on the airplane on the ones that don't have the entertainment systems, and you can watch stuff on your own phone. They provide all the power ports so you can plug in and keep your stuff charged up, unlike my phone right now, which has already got low battery mode, which is why I froze up a minute ago. We're going to have to end it here pretty soon. I was driving down when this came up, but that guy needs to pay for those star shields. Yes, Kevin. Steve Simpek needs to pay for his star shields. If anybody knows them, let them know. If anybody wants any star shields, if you want to go to Nebraska, you can go up there and get them. We'll work out, tell you where to go get them if you want to pick them up, and if you want to use them, because evidently he's not. Yes, I do have a jetback deck shield. It is right there. Right there, you can see the jetback logo right there through the ladder. It's hanging up in the very back corner. When will the Model A conversion happen? I'm still waiting on my parts to show up. Still waiting. They're up in Detroit. Shipper guy is getting ready to go on a big diversion tour all the way down to Georgia to pick up their van. He's got a rental truck right now. The transmission went out. They're waiting for the transmission to be overhauled here. He's going to take it down. They're going to drop it off, put it in. And he's going to finish around to Houston and come back up through Dallas and drop off all my parts and everything else that I have. The A2 pulley. Mike has a bowling ball in there, an old Gold Crown gold ball. Pretty cool that he found up in Cleveland. So I'm waiting for it. Do you ever have to fix the Wi-Fi dome? Yes. Well, I don't. I don't get up on top of airplanes. I don't do heights. So, plus you got to be certified as a JLG. It's the big boom that you get in that on the thing that it goes up there. I won't do it, but you have to get up on top of the plane and take the whole little dome thing off. The SATCOM, I think it's the SATCOM is up there. But yeah, we have to work on this stuff once in a while. We always joke, get on the plane at like 2 in the morning, and we got a lot of other stuff. And then they say, well, yeah, the Wi-Fi system's in up on the plane, and we don't have the part for it there at DFW, and it's on a 8 o'clock trip going to Tokyo, and we're thinking, it's a long trip with a plane load of people and no Wi-Fi. But, you better pay for the star shields, or he's going to see stars. I like your thinking there, Jeff. We're trying to get him. He got very mad when I first brought it up, told me to take down the video, but we didn't. And he told me he was going to contact Marie, and he didn't. So we tried. I think we've talked about it enough. First thought I worked for Southwest by the box you had up on the wall. That actually is a neighbor that gave me that. There's a, yeah, you've seen the Southwest. You can see the very corner of it up here. I guess you can't. It's a little red cooler, but a neighbor up the street, they work for Southwest, and they said, hey, if you'll put it up and display it, we'll give it to you. And so I got it. It's on display. But yeah, I work for American Airlines. AMF makes both their pins and Brunswick pins. So AMF is the pin maker now. I like the look at the old pin video that I had posted about 2 months ago, I think, where they actually showed the factory built or making the Brunswick pins back in the 50s. Where we went through assembly line and you saw the lady actually putting the sticker on each one of them, the King sticker. And then where the lady painting each little crown, it would rotate, you'd paint one, rotate, paint one, and all that stuff was hand done back in the day. So that was pretty cool. Oddest situation you ever had in the hangar? Well, let's see, one night they didn't D-jack an MD-80 correctly and put the tail jack through the aft pressure bulkhead of the MD-80. It's now in the fire department training field over at DFW. That killed the airplane. The 80s were starting to go away at the time, so that didn't really affect them too much. But the worst thing I've ever had to do, this is the worst thing I've ever had to do. We have these black gloves at work. They're thick. They're like cloth gloves, basically, but they're rubber on the outside. So I used them before, some used ones, to pick up palm tree leaves because they have like spikes on there. They don't penetrate. But the 757s have the old blue juice where you didn't have the vacuum system like all the airplanes do now where everything goes back to a waste tank in the back of the plane. So one night the aft lav they couldn't, what they call a dumper, where they hook up the hose to it, dump everything, and it wouldn't seal. So we knew something might be in there. So I donned the glove, which goes all the way up here, and had to reach down in the toilet. Use your imagination. I was by that back door about to vomit out the back window for what I was having to do, but I think I pulled a soda can or something out of there. Fixed it, but that's probably the worst thing I've ever had to do. There's been a lot of stuff. I've been out there for a long time. So, seen a lot of things, done a lot of things. It's been a really fun job. I really am happy with what I'm doing and hope I get to do it a long time. I work with another guy and he's in his 70s. Loves it. And we're out there working one night and the plane took off. We both stopped and had to watch the plane fly by. And he said, yep, 73 years old and I'm still watching airplanes. So he's loving it. Live bowling, I'm talking to Mike now, trying to figure out when we're going to be able to do that. No, I don't. I have maybe pictures of that plane somewhere, the one that we put, or I didn't. I was on Midnights. It was an afternoon guy that accidentally jammed the jack through the aft pressure bulkhead. When you de-jack an airplane, and I've seen other pictures like 747s, you have a jack in the front, middle, and aft. And like on the MD-80s, you jack the front, I think it's the front and the back of the plane, but you have one on the front that's just like a stabilizer. But when you de-jack it, you have to take down the front of the plane because the weight's mainly in the middle and the back. And they didn't take the front down. They started de-jacking the front and the middle, and it just put all the weight on the tail, and it finally just punched a hole in the back of the plane. I've seen a 747, a Lufthansa cargo plane, they did a similar thing where they de-jacked it improperly. And like when an MD-80, I've got a video somewhere. I'll have to see if I can post it. But we jacked it up to do a gear swing. So you jack it in the middle and the aft. We removed the stabilizer in the front of the plane. So I got a picture of the MD-80 fuselage just sticking out of the hangar with no wheels on it. It was pretty cool. Then we did the gear swing, and you see the gear come down. And then we do it with the gear coming up. It's kind of cool. So that's a fun job. If you're looking for something to do in life and you want to do something fun, go get your A&P license, become an aircraft mechanic. You see the world, you get to work on big, expensive airplanes, you get to travel. It's not this glorious travel lifestyle that everybody thinks it is. You're traveling non-rev, you're standby, and you may or may not make a flight. You're low priority. But you know what? If you want a job that you're always going to have, it's a union job, it pays good, and you never know what you're going to do. Go get your A&P license and go apply to the airlines, get your foot in the door. I started board mail, delivering mail. So that's where I started with American Airlines, being the mail guy. Lowest guy in the company. But I finally worked my way up, and now I'm in maintenance. I had nothing to do with de-jacking the airplane and killing it. So what brand of candle pin is up on the shelf? I don't believe that pin has any markings on it. Mike can answer that question for me. What about the stabilizer fin? Are we talking about the one that they put the jack through? Yeah, that plane never flew again. The candle pin, Mike actually brought me that candle pin. I'm not sure what the brand is. I don't think there's a marking on it. I can tonight or tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit later after we get through here, Mike. I'll message you. It'll be a definite test on my knee to see how that goes, how I feel, because it's still a little weird walking around right now without my big stabilizing brace on there. It pops every once in a while, which is still weird to me, but the doctor said it's got to heal up. My dad was a jet mechanic in the 50s. Oh my God. Could you imagine working for the airlines back in the 50s and 60s, back when they had all the DC-4s? And oh, we got the dinner bill. Yeah, back when they had props and everything, Constellations, DC-4s, 5s, 6s. Do they have a 5? DC-6, DC-7s. All right, see you, Kevin. Everybody else, it's dinner time. Aaron just rang the dinner bell for me. Thanks for watching. It's been a fun 82 minutes so far. I was just going to talk 10 or 15 minutes. Didn't know it was going to go this long. Message me later if anybody has any comments, questions. Look for me on Facebook. Send me a private message. We'll see you later. Maybe we'll be live tonight or tomorrow or who knows what. 5 more minutes. Message me, Mangle. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. We'll see you live soon. And I will be bowling Monday night. So, all right, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.